Carlton fans have been starved of living out a dream when it comes to top 10 draft picks landing at Carlton after a year that brought them finals. It's only happened twice in the draft era. Pick number 4 in 2000, Luke Livingston, after finishing second that year. And Jagga Smith, pick 3 in last year's draft, 24 years later after finishing 8th. And so, simply put, an entire generation of Carlton fans have never seen such a high-level talent land at a Carlton team this decent with the chance to impact immediately. Which is understandably why a collective groan could be heard when the devastating news of an ACL tear spread across the footballing world on Sunday afternoon. That said, however, it would be rude to not place a spotlight on the glimpses he showed at the first preseason hitout, to perhaps give us a small window of insight on what he could provide long-term at the club. When Jagga Smith got drafted, Fox Footy drew comparisons to Caleb Serong, but I can't resist when saying that he screams a Zak Butters type to me, and it goes beyond physical resemblance, aka slender in stature and a smaller midfielder. Very quick, agile and evasive, yet clean in close quarters. Butters has that deft touch on his kicking, and Jagga Smith strikes me as a similar type with quite a bit of poise as well. Kevin Sheehan reinforces this, sharing Smith's ability to be lively, creative, with elite distribution, and the ability to step through congested situations. Tell me that's not Zak Butters reincarnated. Now, Zak Butters' career trajectory has followed an interesting path. Incremental growth in possessions, namely, and this correlates with a drastic increase in centre bounce attendances. Zak Butters has gone from sitting 8th in the Power CBA pecking order in 2021 to being 4th in 2024. However, the number 1 ranked midfielder, and as that's occurred, he's also shown off his work rate and tank, going from 13th in handball receives in 2021 to a team best 10 handball receives per game in 2024 as well, showing his ability to get integrated in power attacks. While 3/4 of footy brings a very small sample size, especially to draw comparisons, I feel the way Zak Butters' earlier years panned out is what Voss may have envisioned for Smith, especially having coached Butters to the end of 2021, as an assistant, of course. And given the Blues' desire and need for positive forward 50 entry and poise around the ball at stages. And the way Butters has grown definitely suits what Smith could grow into, given his capacity to win footy prolifically at Coates Talent League level in midfield. I do feel the way he was utilised in this preseason game may have been experimental or a genuine insight into how he would have been used at AFL level. As we alluded to, Jagga was playing that high half-forward role for much of the game, similar to the sort of role Zak Butters played earlier in his career. From centre bounces, I think him running into stoppage definitely enables the evasiveness he has in his locker, which could definitely aid Carlton clearance with more polish. This role in open play is a good one. I associate him more so with an attacking surge style of play, and I think that's personified through his ability to run back to goal as he works from contest to contest, with that proven in his development and through short glimpses on the weekend. This paired with poise means Carlton can capitalise on their pace and space that they would generate from playing through the corridor and via the switch, a must for improvement going forward. And there were moments in this game where the absence of execution was clear, even though you could give the benefit of the doubt considering the swirly conditions. There's a very distinct example in the first quarter where Jagga is about 45 out in the defensive 50. He impacts the play to win Carlton back possession, spreads and presents as an option, and then you have the overlap run. And here Carlton have the space, and Jagga Smith enhances this with the poise to let defenders go past as he drops into the space they've left behind. The wind was making hitting passes difficult, but without a prolonged hang in the air, this is hitting Orazio without a loss of stride. And as we've seen over the years, Carlton forward half pressure resulting in turnover is usually highly punishing, and this example is no exception. We've gone from potentially kicking down the line to Jagga opening the ground up. even though the turnover would generally be heavily detrimental, a turnover back in our favour had the same effect on the opposition. And so it's little things like these where Jagga could impact. Then we had the moments where Jagga was on the ball, and while he wasn't necessarily prolific, and these moments were drip-fed, I did enjoy his pressure, courage, and aggressiveness he was applying, which did carry over to open play sequences as well. Here is an example which merges elements of both positions he was playing together. The ability to manufacture time and space where there is none, and then the breakaway from the stoppage, followed by the pinpoint precise kick despite swirly conditions. A kick so dead accurate that long and high in those conditions is very impressive, no two ways about it. Outputs like that are beneficial. Whether Jagga is sprinting from half forward into the restart, he's in a centre bounce, or he's a part of a sequence which has Carlton trying to breach a well-set defensive system through the corridor from halfback. I do think there were a few moments where Carlton weren't very resourceful with this new asset at their feet as well. And unfortunately, being absent for the next 12 months now, this may take a little bit of time to find its footing. Look, I can agree with the take that it's unreasonable to think that the loss of Jagga Smith is destructive to Carlton's premiership hopes. However, do I think Jagga would have brought something to a Carlton side that they may not necessarily have? Are they missing out on potential improvement? I would have to agree. There's not a player on the Carlton list of his mould, and I genuinely think Carlton's play could have been enhanced with him in the side. Do you share the same sentiment? I hope you've enjoyed this little introduction into 2025. I'm interested to see what the season holds, and I hope you are too. See you for the next analysis. Bye for now.